Hello friends, this is Leslie from Leslie's Cancer Confessions. It is the 12th of July, 2018, and I am here to share my personal journey over these past 7 and hopefully many more years of living with metastatic breast cancer, which is when breast cancer leaves your breast and takes a road trip throughout your body, going to many possible sites, making it a metastasis. Mine took up residency in my bones, in my arm, hips, pelvis, lungs, and heart. And as a result of it taking residency in my lungs, I developed what is called pleural effusions, which means there is fluid between the space of the outside pleura and lung cavity, and it is essentially filling up like a Ziploc baggie. I've lived with this for 7 years, not having it treated with a secondary treatment. Normally I get thoracentesis, which is the removal of the fluid of the lining of the lungs, which is just a temporary measure because the minute you remove the fluid, it fills back up. I have had that done multiple times. Look, there's Sadie. She's dwelling. Sadie! Sadie! Hey! What's it doing? I'm sitting on the arm of the couch like a cat, Mom. And there's Gracie hanging out on the very small dog bed. And there's Oscar licking the carpet because what else are you gonna do? Anyway, I've had many thoracentesis done, and it does not correct the problem. It's just a temporary measure to remove the fluid so I can breathe. Over the years, I have had opportunities to have a secondary measure, which is called pleurodesis, which is removing the fluid and then blowing talc or some sort of substance that aggravates the lining and the pleura and causes them to stick together so that no fluid can refill up that cavity. I could not do this initially at the beginning of my cancer treatment because I was on a medication that I would have had to stop taking for at least a month prior to having this done because it would have needed to leave my system completely. And in addition, it's just not a good idea to stop taking chemotherapy when you have mets because that gives the cancer a chance to spread to other sites or to grow in the sites that it's currently already living. And so I couldn't do it while on the what medicine was that? It was the Taxol and Avastin. And so I couldn't stop while I was doing that because that's an actual infusion and I just needed to stay on it. Then when I moved on to Xeloda, I could not stop taking that because I stopped for 3 weeks, and during that 3 weeks time, I developed cancer on my heart, on the outside wall of my heart, which is separate from the myxoma. It's not the same thing. It was actually a metastasis. The myxoma is something different, and it's not a cancer. It's just a tumor. So I can live with that. I don't need to have that removed. So anyway, the timing has just never been right, and the medication and type of treatment that I've been on has never been right for me to take a chemo break and have surgery. But the time is right. Life has fallen into line. I have been able to take a quick break to allow my white blood cell count to rebound. I was supposed to start chemo 2 weeks ago, my 3 weeks on, 1 week off, and I was able to stop taking it so that my white cell count could increase because it's been chronically low. And I'm going in on Tuesday to have both sides corrected. Now they do one side, allowing the lung to expand, doing the pleurodesis, and then leaving a chest tube in that side for, I believe, 2 days. And then they will go in and remove the chest tube from whatever side they do and drain and do the pleurodesis on the secondary side. My hope is that next week on Thursday, by that time, I will have had both sides done, or will be having the second side done, and will be taking my first complete deep breath with both sides of my lungs that I will have had in over 7 years. So that's where I'm at with my current part of this living with metastatic breast cancer journey. And once I have had that done, I can get back on track taking my Ibrance and letrozole, and that will all be good. So I am hoping that the next time I film a video for you, I'm not short of breath. Although I may be, it may take a while for my lungs to adjust, being able to be able to breathe as deeply as they're able to. So, but at any rate, I'm hoping when I film for you next, I can carry on a conversation without panting through it and catching my breath. Life is good. We still have a few boxes to unpack in this one final room in our house that will be an entertainment room. These are boxes of records that we just need a shelf or system that can hold that perfectly square shape that vinyl comes in. Any suggestions for me? I'd love to hear them. I don't know how you store your vinyl. We used to have a cube-shaped shelf from IKEA, but when we moved, we sold a bunch of stuff so that we wouldn't have to move it. And I really don't want to go back to that. I want something a little bit more grown-up, furniture-ish to store our vinyl on. So that is all that's going on here. We're completely moved in here in Tennessee. The doggies are very happy. Are you happy, Sadie? Sadie, are you happy? Sadie? Sadie, are you happy? Gracie, are you happy? Are you happy, Gracie? Yeah? Oh. I think they're both happy. Oscar is completely sound asleep. Oh, no, he's not. But I am very happy here. Not completely 100% certain that the oncologist that I'm currently under the care of is who I will long-term ride or die for. Considering moving to a different practice that is under the banner of the hospital that is pretty well known here, and Vanderbilt. Couldn't think of the word. Vanderbilt. It is a little bit longer of a drive, but I think that the care will be a little bit more cutting edge than what I'm currently receiving. And when you live long term with something, no matter what it is, whether it's cancer or diabetes or a neurological disorder, something that you have to deal with every single day, and a doctor that you have to see at least once a month, you want to make sure that you get along with that doctor and that you feel like the standard of care the practice provides is at least what you are used to receiving or better. And I kind of feel like where I'm going, there's been a lot of miscommunication and some mix-ups with like simple things, filling prescriptions, and some misinformation. Now I'm just going to say it. I'm just going to say what the misinformation was. I'm not telling you the name of the doctor, yelling at any nurses or anything. There's no personal information, but I had shingles, which is adult chickenpox, at the beginning of my cancer diagnosis. And because I had shingles, I take something called valcyclovir, which is an antiviral medication given daily, ongoing, forever, as long as I am alive, to prevent me from having another outbreak of shingles. In the past 7 years, I have had Texas, Colorado, Tennessee, Chicago, Tennessee, 5 oncologists. And all of them, until now, have said, no, you can't. Trust me, I've tried. I've said, oh, can I stop taking that? I'm on so many medicines. I don't want to take all of these medicines. Can I at least eliminate this one? And they're like, well, you can eliminate any medicines you want, but if you stop taking this one, within a short period of time, you will have another outbreak of shingles, which is painful, uncomfortable, no fun at all to live with. So all of my doctors, 4 out of the 5, have said, no way, you have to stay on this. This is an important drug that you need to protect you from getting an illness that could further compromise your immune system. But when I called for a refill of this medication at my new oncologist, the nurse spoke with the doctor and then came back to me and said, no, you don't need to take this anymore. You've been on it long enough. Yes, I'm blinking rapidly going, what? WTF. So I went online and went to this little website called the Mayo Clinic and, just did a little research. Just stuff that you can find online. It's easily available. You don't need to be a PhD. Just be a patient and do a little due diligence for yourself. And things weren't adding up. So I contacted my previous oncologist and spoke with his nurse and said, I'll happily pay a copay even though you're there and I'm here and I'm asking for your advice, so I'll pay for a doctor visit. And he was like, no, you don't need to do that. This is fine. I'm calling you in a prescription for this with 3 refills, so here's a 90-day supply, and that should cover you for the next year because you need to be on this medication, which leaves me feeling a lack of confidence in my current care team. So that's where I'm at with that. I'm having surgery next week with a surgeon for, I believe it's called thoracic surgery. If I'm wrong, correct me in the comments below. So I'm having that done. I'm sure there will be some follow-up care. I will be in the hospital for 6 days for sure. I've been told that. I don't know if I have any complications. It may be longer. And if I do great, maybe it'll be less time. Maybe I'll be out in 4 days. Fingers crossed. But that is the plan. 6 days in, and then I'm released. And then, whoa, we have a battle royale happening. So that is the plan. If you know anything about shingles, having shingles while you have a compromised immune system, from having cancer. If you happen to be a doctor and have an opinion or a thought on what I just shared about the valcyclovir and having breast cancer or Mets breast cancer, and whether there is truly no reason to take it after a certain period of time. I'm cured and I don't need to take it anymore because it's been 7 years and that's the magic number. Let me know, because I'm just going off of what 4 other oncologists and the Mayo Clinic has shared with me. So anyway, please give me your thoughts on anything that I have had to say below. Keep me in your prayers if you're a praying person, as I am about to go have this surgery, that everything goes well and there's no post-surgical infections or complications. And be looking for my next video to let you know I'm A-okay and everything worked out and I can breathe. And I have one less complication to deal with, in addition to living and thriving with metastatic breast cancer. If you've stopped by here for your first time, thank you for stopping by, and I hope you come back. And if you're a longtime viewer, thank you for coming back. Please take a moment to like, follow, and subscribe. And if you know anybody who you think may be interested in the information I've shared today, please share it with them. Thanks for stopping by. Bye now.